vibrating mode. We do not want any disturbance during the program, especially when the speakers, when the august audience is being, is being addressed by the eminent personalities of the society, and also during the technical sessions as well. Thank you. The volunteers of FDCA and GMCL kindly bring all the delegates who are going to attend this wonderful session, the inaugural session, as well as the technical session from outside. So kindly help us with that. Thank you. is here. Those who have joined late, to request, kindly keep the safe distance, keep wearing your mask, sanitize your hands, and also put your mobile phones on silent mode or vibrating mode. Thank you. With utmost pleasure, we welcome Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat. Mr. Mansukh Bhai Mandavia, Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare and Chemicals and Fertilizer, Government of India. Shri Rishikesh Patel, Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Medical Education, Water Resources and Water Supply. Shri Nimishaben Suthar, Honorable Minister for Tribal Development, Health and Family Welfare and Medical Education. Ms. S. Aparna, IAS, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceuticals, Government of India. Shri Manoj Agrawal, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Gujarat. Dr. V.G. Somani, Drugs Controller General of India, CDCCO, Government of India. Dr. H.G. Koshia, Commissioner, Foods and Drugs Control Administration, Government of Gujarat. Dr. Sarah Macmillan, India Office Country Director, USFDA. We welcome all the esteemed dignitaries on the dais. It is indeed our pleasure to have you all with us. आप सभी गणमान्य व्यक्तियों का हम तहेदिल से स्वागत करते हैं. Can we applaud for all the esteemed dignitaries on the dais, please? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We would like to welcome all the esteemed dignitaries on the dais with floral bouquet. Foremost, I request Shri Manoj Agrawal, IS, Additional Chief Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Gujarat, to welcome Honorable CM Sir, Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel. Thank you. I now request Dr. H.G. Koshia, Commissioner FDCA, to kindly welcome Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, Sir, Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare and Chemicals and Fertilizer, Government of India. Thank you. I now request Shri Prabhav Joshi, MD, GMSCL, Gujarat, to welcome Shri Rishikesh Patel, Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Medical Education, Water Resources and Water Supply. Thank you. I now request Shri H.L. Rawat, Joint Commissioner FDCA, Gujarat, to welcome Srimati Nimishaben Suthar, Honorable Minister for Tribal Development, Health and Family Welfare and Medical Education. Thank you. I now request Dr. K.J. Bhatt, Joint Commissioner, Ayurved, FDCA, Gujarat, to welcome Ms. S. Aparna, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceuticals, Government of India. Thank you. I now request Dr. M.P. Gadhvi, Senior Drugs Inspector, FDCA, Gujarat, to welcome Shri Manoj Agrawal, Additional Chief Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Gujarat. Thank you. I now request Shri Yogesh Darji, Assistant Commissioner, FDCA, Gujarat, to kindly welcome Dr. Sarah Macmillan, India Office Country Director, USFDA. Thank you. I now request Shri S.G. Shah, Assistant Commissioner, FDCA, Gujarat, to welcome Dr. V.G. Somani, Drugs Controller General of India, CDSCO, Government of India. Thank you. I now request Dr. J.A. Patel, Assistant Commissioner, FDCA, Gujarat, to kindly welcome Dr. H.G. Koshia, Commissioner, FDCA, Gujarat. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, gentlemen. मंचस्थ विराजमान सभी महानुभावों से नम्र निवेदन करूंगी कि वे दीप प्रागट्य के लिए आगे पधारें. I request the esteemed dignitaries to kindly step forward for lamp lighting. May God bless us all, the living beings on the earth. Thank you. Now I request Shri Manoj Agrawal, IAS Additional Chief Secretary, Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Gujarat, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Respected Shri Bhupendra Patel ji, Honorable Chief Minister Gujarat, Mansukh Bhai Mandaviya ji, Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare and Chemical and Fertilizers, Government of India, Shri Rushikesh Patel, Honorable Minister, Health and Family Welfare, Government of Gujarat, Madam Nimisha Ben Suthar, Minister of State, Health and Family Welfare, Government of Gujarat, Madam S. Aparna, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceutical, Government of Gujarat, India, Dr. V.G. Somani, Drug Controller General of India, Dr. Sarah McMullen, India Office Country Director, US FDA. Dignitaries present here, leaders, members from the media, and all industry members. On behalf of the Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Gujarat, I welcome you all to this vibrant Gujarat Pre-Summit, Holistic Healthcare, Good Health and Well-being for All. The Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, conceptualized in 2003 under the visionary leadership of Shri Narendra Modi, Honorable Prime Minister, has today evolved into one of the most reputed global forum for business networking, knowledge sharing, and strategic partnership for inclusive socio-economic development. This pre-summit on holistic healthcare, good health and well-being for all is a part of the various precursor events to Vibrant Gujarat 2022 that the Government of Gujarat is organizing to showcase the state's distinctive accomplishments and its preparedness to lead Atmanirbhar Bharat's growth story. Today's pre-event summit will deliberate upon key areas such as boosting bulk drug production through PLI scheme, that is Production Linked Incentive Scheme, reducing India's dependence in active pharmaceutical ingredients and medical devices, Jan Aushadhi Kendras, that is the generic medicines. The production linked scheme for pharmaceuticals and medical devices are a cornerstone of the government's push for achieving an Atmanirbhar Bharat. The objective is to make India's domestic manufacturing globally competitive and to create global champions in manufacturing. The PLI scheme, along with the Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana, PM-BJP, and other initiatives of the Government of India will ensure affordable and quality access to healthcare for all. The state of Gujarat is one of the leading producers and exporters of quality pharmaceutical and medical devices. In today's deliberation, we will hear from our dignitaries on the dais and various session speakers the contours of these schemes and how it will benefit us. I am sure that their vision, guidance, and expertise will inspire us all to work towards achieving the aim of Atmanirbhar Gujarat and Atmanirbhar Bharat. Welcoming all of you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcome words. We appreciate it. We all know that pharmaceuticals and medical devices sector in Gujarat is growing many folds and benefiting all the sections of the society. We would like to showcase the same to you through a movie on these important sector of Gujarat. Can we have the movie, please?
Gujarat, a state rich in its healthcare infrastructure, a state known for its mission mode approach in vaccinating its people during fight against the pandemic, a state that has evolved to be the pharma capital of India. Gujarat, a state that is leaving no stone unturned and contributing immensely to the pharmaceutical sector of India and the world.
The global trusts earned by the Indian healthcare sector had led to India being called the pharmacy of the world.
In recent times, India has announced different PLI schemes for pharmaceuticals and medical equipment, which will not only help to reduce import burden but also help us to become secure in critical drugs.
With India's one-third pharmaceutical production taking place in Gujarat and with 28% share in India's pharma exports, Gujarat has continued to contribute in shaping the health of the people globally. Gujarat is the hub of manufacturing human as well as veterinary vaccines and also caters COVID-19 drugs to all over India. There is a large number of certified manufacturing units for high-quality medicines and medical equipment operating in Gujarat. Apart from being the largest producer of contraceptive pills in the world, 78% of India's cardiac stents, 65% of India's orthopedic implants, 50% of India's intraocular lenses, 40% of India's pharma machinery, and 35% of India's diagnostic reagent are manufactured in the state of Gujarat. Along with Gujarat's pharma industry being the growth engine of India, some of the other key accomplishments of Gujarat in this sector, Gujarat is home to 40% of contract research and manufacturing services. First diagnostic reagent manufacturer in India to obtain product pre-qualification from WHO Geneva is in Gujarat. Gujarat boasts of over 114 years of excellence with 900 plus WHO GMP certified production facilities. Drugs made in Gujarat are authorized to sell around the world today. Initiatives like single window portal for issuance of sales license and product license, strong policy support by identifying pharmaceuticals and medical devices as one of the thrust sectors in Gujarat Industrial Policy 2020. Government of Gujarat has been persistently working in addressing the modern needs and technology-driven advancement of this sector. Gujarat Medical Service Corporation Limited, as the central purchase authority for procurement of medical devices across Gujarat, is ensuring smooth availability of more than 700 generic medicines statewide at the cost of about Rs 865 crores per annum. The 360-degree functioning of Food and Drug Control Administration (FDCA) in Gujarat has played a pivotal role in developing Gujarat as the top-performing state when it comes to its pharmaceutical growth. The state-of-the-art services and facilities like Food and Drug Laboratory, Vadodara, Mobile Drug Testing Van, and IT-driven innovations has helped Gujarat to achieve excellence in the regulatory functions of FDCA. The FDCA inspectors have high-end handy devices to catch the wrongdoers by on-the-spot identification tests of API and formulation moving in the trade of Gujarat, ensuring the highest standards of pharmaceutical products and services in the state. Continuing its exemplary work in the pharmaceutical sector, Gujarat was lauded for its exceptional performance during the tough times of pandemic, including fast-track approvals of product licenses and manufacturing licenses to products like medical oxygen, sanitizers, etc.
Gujarat has been the leading producer of pharmaceuticals and medical devices in the country since long. To maintain its lead in the export of the medicines, production of the medical devices, and within the country also, it has to ensure that the necessary ecosystem for such a production of pharmaceuticals and medical devices exists in the state. Gujarat government is committed to provide such an ecosystem.
The combined efforts of scientists, researchers, doctors, technicians, experts and the government of Gujarat proudly and efficiently makes Gujarat's pharmaceutical sector self-reliant and sustainable.
ગુજરાત દેશમાં ફાર્મા ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ માટેનું પાયોનિયર સ્ટેટ છે. રાજ્ય સરકારે ફાર્મા ઉદ્યોગ માટે ઇનોવેશન ડ્રીવન અને નીતિ આધારિત વાતાવરણ વિકસાવ્યું છે. રાજ્ય સરકારની એફિશિયન્ટ રેગ્યુલેટરી સિસ્ટમ અને ફાર્મા ઉદ્યોગની નિયમ પાલનની પ્રતિબદ્ધતાને કારણે ગુજરાત ઉચ્ચ ગુણવત્તાયુક્ત દવાઓ અને મેડિકલ ઇક્વિપમેન્ટ દુનિયાને ઉપલબ્ધ કરાવે છે. આત્મનિર્ભર ભારત માટેના વડાપ્રધાન શ્રી નરેન્દ્રભાઈ મોદીના આહ્વાનમાં ગુજરાત આ ફાર્મા ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી સેક્ટરમાં આત્મનિર્ભરતાથી પોતાનું યોગદાન આપવા પ્રતિબદ્ધ છે.
Gujarat, the Atmanirbhar Pharma Capital of India.
We wish more and more luck and power to this sector. I now like to welcome Dr. Sarah Macmillan, India Office Country Director, US FDA, to kindly share her views on this event.
Namaste, and good morning to everybody. It's an honor to be a part of the Holistic Healthcare, Good Health and Wellbeing for All pre-event for the 10th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2022, and to provide the inaugural session special address. My name is Dr. Sarah McMullen, and I'm the Director of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's India office. It's my pleasure to be here with you honored guests, dignitaries, and industry leaders for this landmark event. Our time together is an opportunity for us to share knowledge and dialogue on future collaborative efforts relevant to global cross-cutting issues related to the medical product sector. The U.S. relies heavily on imported medical products to meet our domestic demands. In fact, FDA-regulated products are imported into the United States from over 136,000 foreign facilities from more than 150 countries. Much of the work of the FDA India office is centered on ensuring the safety and quality of medical products that are imported into the U.S. from India. As many of you may be aware, India has the largest number of FDA-registered drug manufacturing facilities outside the U.S. India not only leads in the number of FDA-registered drug manufacturing facility, it also leads in the submissions of abbreviated new drug applications, or ANDAs. In fiscal year 2020, India accounted for approximately 44% of the ANDAs received by the agency, followed by the U.S. and China. Medical device imports to the U.S. from China is an area that, medical device imports from the U.S. to India is an area that is growing in volume and importance. With regard to pharmaceuticals, Gujarat is one of the leading Indian states with the largest number of FDA-registered drug manufacturing facilities. As India's Drugs and Cosmetic Act is enforced by both the central and state governments, the Gujarat Food and Drug Control Administration, or FDCA, continues to be an important partner to the US FDA. The relationship between our two agencies dates back to 2008. Since then, the relationship between the agencies has strengthened with enhanced collaboration on areas of mutual interest, including sharing of best practices in areas of regulatory oversight. In 2019, we held the first annual regulatory forum between our two agencies to further strengthen and build mutual understanding of each other's pharmaceutical inspection processes and associated regulations and guidances. We look forward to the upcoming forum planned in February of 2022 and our ongoing meetings and engagements. We recently had a very productive meeting with the Honorable Cabinet Minister of Health, Mr. Rushikesh Patel, where we discussed a variety of topics of common public health interest to both Gujarat and the U.S. We greatly look forward to ongoing constructive dialogue and collaboration on shared interests in times to come. The last 2 years have been very challenging for all of us, both personally and professionally. This pandemic has highlighted the need for a strong regulatory framework and a vibrant collaborative partnership between government and industry to achieve our shared goal of safe, effective, high-quality drugs, vaccines, and other medical products. Our patients, our consumers, and our nations look to us in these difficult times, and we can both be proud of the work we have done collectively and collaboratively in addressing COVID-19. The US FDA is committed in working many ways to protect our nation's public health as well as global public health during the COVID-19 pandemic. Major focus areas of the FDA's response include increasing the availability of tests, therapeutics, vaccines, and devices critical to the pandemic response. I would like to highlight a few of the agency's key response activities for COVID-19. We have more than 670 drug development programs in planning stages and 12 COVID-19 treatments currently authorized for emergency use. One treatment, remdesivir, is currently approved by the FDA for use in COVID-19. We have 2 COVID-19 vaccines, both Moderna and Janssen, which are authorized for emergency use. Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine has been approved for use in individuals 16 years and older and under EUA for ages 5 to 15. We have also authorized a single booster dose for individuals 16 years of age and older, meeting certain criteria. As of December 14th, there were 421 test and sample collection devices that have been authorized by the FDA under EUAs. These include molecular test and sample collection devices, antibody and other immune response test, and antigen test. The FDA has received more than 1,400 reports of fraudulent products related to COVID-19. To proactively identify and neutralize threats to consumers, the FDA launched Operation Quack Hack in March of 2020. The Operation Quack Hack team has reviewed thousands of websites, social media posts, and online marketplace listings, resulting in more than 180 warning letters to sellers, including websites based in India. The COVID-19 pandemic also required the FDA to rework our typical operations in order to carry out our public health mission while protecting our workforce and the workforces of those we regulate. In response to challenges to on-site inspections presented during the global pandemic and in preparation for future emergencies, FDA implemented remote regulatory assessments. These assess a firm's compliance with certain regulations and conformance with application submissions where appropriate. Although these are not considered inspections, certain regulatory decisions were made possible through these reviews. As some of you likely know and have experienced, I'm proud to announce that FDA has resumed in-person inspections globally as well as in India. We also recently published an update to the resiliency roadmap for FDA inspectional oversight. This highlights the agency's plan for returning to a more consistent state of operations, including inspections under various scenarios. FDA continues to prioritize and accomplish foreign mission-critical and compliance follow-up inspections. Between April and September of this year, we completed 124 foreign inspections across 23 countries. As the world is more interconnected and also interdependent, there is a critical need for coordinated responses to the global public health threats and emergencies, as is evidenced by the COVID-19 pandemic. We must maintain product quality and safety while increasing access and equity. We must all operate with the mindset that until all are safe, none are safe. Thank you, honored guests, for your time and attention. We look forward to hearing and learning from you during today's summit.
Thank you, Madam, for your valuable words. Now I request Dr. V.G. Somani, Drugs Controller General of India, CDSCO, Government of India, to address the audience. Thank you.
Namaskar and good morning. Honorable Shri Bhupendra Patel ji, Chief Minister of Gujarat, Dr. Mansukh Mandviya ji, Union Health Minister, Shri Rishikesh Patel ji, Nimisha Ben, Yasaparna ma'am, Manoj Agrawal ji, Koshia ji, and Sarah Macmillan. I would like to congratulate the Health and Family Welfare Department, Government of Gujarat, organizing 10th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit The summit was conceptualized in 2003 and has today evolved into one of the most reputed global forum of business networking, knowledge sharing, and strategic partnership for inclusive socio-economic development. The chapter chosen today in this summit, the holistic healthcare, is extremely important. And as you all must be knowing, that India is the leading supplier of the generic medicine not only to India but to the 30% of the world. And out of that 30%, the 30% comes from the Gujarat. And that in itself shows that there is some genetic inherent characteristics which are required for development of proper healthcare solutions which are available in Gujarat. So, though there are various topics which are very focused, how to address the bulk drug production, how to address the reducing dependency on the API and KSM, and through Jan Aushadhi Kendra, how to increase the utilization of generic medicines. At the center of all these things remains the patient and consumer. And when we look at the patient, what patient want or what a consumer want, he or she wants access to quality medicine and affordable medicine. Access means the medicine should be available at affordable cost, nearby, and whenever it is needed. And to achieve that, the Gujarat has been a pioneer in bringing down the cost of quality medicine by producing it in volumes and at a very fast pace. The most important things is high level of infrastructure which is available in Gujarat. Then the way Gujarat industry work in a digitalized manner through unified platforms and the speed, attitude towards ease of doing business, and the most important is practical approach. That has given some of the very important solutions in innovations also. To name the few, the new innovative molecules like Sargletazar, the indigenously made vaccine, Zycov-D, this has come from Gujarat, and there are many in the pipeline. I can name few. In few days you will be like Desidustat, hyperimmunoglobulins, and many such things are going to come in the future. And I can see the innovation pipeline which is coming out through the Gujarat is very well structured. Because the entire machinery, government machinery, whether it includes politicking, bureaucracy, or the FDCA Gujarat, they value for the time, they value for the quality, and they value for not only local demands, but national demands and global demands. And they always keep on striving. And if I have to say, because I have seen whole of the India and being a chairman of member state mechanism of World Health Organization for last 3 years, where 194 countries regulators comes, I can tell you with lot of confidence that the way which has been shown for access to affordable medicine, quality medicine by Gujarat is being very keenly observed by entire world, how this model did work. But still Gujarat has not achieved its full potential. It has much more potential than that. It can provide to 50% of the demand of the nation and almost 20% of the demand of the world, provided it takes steps towards reducing the dependence on APIs and KSMs. Also, it takes further steps towards innovations and some of the issues which are related, where the pollution related matters, which doesn't get much of the fast tracking, which is being there in various areas. Excuse me for saying this, but if all these things are attended very properly, I'm sure Gujarat can become one of the leading supplier of the medicine, not only to India for making India as Atmanirbhar Bharat, but also to the entire world. Lastly, I would say Gujarat is not only Gujarat. If you see outside industry which is spread across, whether it is in Maharashtra, whether it is in Uttarakhand, or whether it is in Baddi or wherever, there are Gujaratis. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your informative address. With utmost pleasure, now I request Ms. S. Aparna, IAS, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceuticals, Government of India, to deliver her special address. Over to you, ma'am.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar. Respected Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Bipindrabhai Patel Sahib, respected Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare, and also the Minister for Chemicals and Fertilizers, under which the Department of Pharmaceuticals sits, Honorable Shri Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya ji, Honorable Minister Shri Rishikesh Patel ji, Honorable Minister for State Srimati Nimisha Ben, ACS Health Shri Manoj Agarwal, my colleagues, dignitaries on the dais, distinguished delegates present here, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a privilege to participate in the pre-summit event on holistic healthcare in the run-up to the 10th Vibrant Gujarat Global Investor Summit 2021. This summit, since 2001, has truly become a knowledge-driven event, bringing together investors, industry, and institutions to power the Gujarat growth story. The focus on healthcare in this summit is both topical as well as strategic. It has both immediate and long-term implications. Healthcare has become central not only as a social sector and a social need, but also for economic growth, as we have seen in the last 2 years. The pharmaceutical sector is in the limelight for the critical contribution that it makes to therapeutic products, medicines, medical devices, and vaccines in the global response to COVID-19. India is rightly living up to its reputation of being the pharmacy of the world, and I am so proud to share with all of you that in the last 2 years, the Gujarat pharma industry, represented by all of you here, has been at the forefront of ensuring uninterrupted supply of medicines, ramping up production almost in weeks, as we saw in the case of remdesivir, amphotericin, and so on, coordinating with regulators, both in India and outside, and meeting the unprecedented demand for medicines and vaccines, guided by the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which has been highlighted by the Honorable Prime Minister, and the dynamic leadership that we are fortunate to have of Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya ji. India has leveraged its triple advantage, and this triple advantage is in cost, quality, and scale. And we have been able to encourage industry to meet global needs at a scale never seen before. There are lessons to be learned from this experience of the last 2 years, and I hope that they will form the foundation of the deliberations that we will have in the course of the event today. The first lesson that I would like to highlight for your consideration would be the importance of getting ahead of the curve by focusing on innovation in the pharmaceutical sector. Dr. Somani has also mentioned this. We are experts at the generic field. Now we have to become more innovative, and I am sure that under the leadership of the Gujarat government, the Gujarat Pharmaceutical and Medical Devices will lead in innovation also. I urge the delegates to examine the opportunities that lie for India with the increasing trend in telescoping drug development. We saw mRNA vaccines being developed in few months instead of years. The use of digital tools in drug discovery and clinical trial. Growing share of biologics and biosimilars in the whole world. The increase in gene-based products, and the need to be agile in responding to the customer demand for personalized medicine, wearables, small devices in the medical technology sector. Already India has provided to the world the first DNA-based vaccine for COVID-19. It is a matter of pride that this is from Gujarat. We have also produced the first interchangeable biosimilar product for treatment of diabetes, and there are many such innovations that have been done. This, I feel, should be the first focus of the summit. The government of India, under the Department of Pharmaceutical, has brought out the draft policy to catalyze R&D and innovation in pharma and medtech sector, and we have received a very good response from the industry and stakeholders so that we can finalize this policy. I am very happy that regulators from the US, from India, and Gujarat are on the same stage, and I am sure that Dr. Somani, Dr. Macmillan, and Dr. Koshia will lead in devising a design for cross-border collaboration on R&D and innovation. We also have institutions like NIPER Ahmedabad present here today who will like to collaborate on supporting the industry in innovation. The second lesson that I would like to dwell upon would be relating to scale. It has already been mentioned that India provides almost 25 to 30% of the global demand for generics, but we are now not talking of millions. We are talking of billions of doses of vaccines. Similar is the demand for medicines. So although we have a large capacity, we have large pharma companies, about 10 of the top 100 global pharma companies are from India, but I do believe that we need to scale up even more if we are to meet the challenges of the future. The Atmanirbhar strategy of the Government of India, which is led by Honorable Prime Minister, speaks of building global champions. And in the pharma and medical technology sector, the Government of India has deployed an unprecedented outlay of $4 billion, which is about 28,000 crore rupees, to support industry in scaling up in domestic manufacturing capabilities, and that is required to sustain global leadership. We also need to focus, along with size, on drug security by reviving the API industry, which has gone into decline in the last couple of decades, because that is essential for ensuring that we have a robust and resilient supply chain. I am sure that Gujarat has the strength, the governance, and the ecosystem to transform this growth into scale. The third lesson that I would like to share with you from the experience of the pandemic, which may be useful in the deliberations today, lies in translating the scale and innovation into affordable products for the patients. The patient has to remain at the center of all our efforts. We are working to provide healthcare solutions for patients across India and the world. Today, Indian medical products do offer low cost and high quality, but still, spending on medicines continues to be a pain point for poor families across the world. India has launched the world's largest public-funded health insurance and assurance program. Honorable Minister will certainly speak about it. We have a large number of formulations which are under the ceiling price program. We have over 8,550 retail stores, Jana Aushadhi Kendra, which provide generic medicines at about 50 to 90% lower price than the market throughout the country. But I do hope that all the delegates will keep affordability and access, universal access, at the center of the discussions here today. It has been mentioned that no one is safe till everybody is safe, and I hope that Gujarat will contribute to making that a reality, because Gujarat has always had a global connect and a global vision. Finally, I am very happy that the theme is holistic healthcare, and I hope the potential of Indian traditional medicine systems like Ayurveda will also be explored in the discussions today and in the run-up to the main event in January. I look forward, sir, to the guidance of Honorable Union Minister Dr. Mandavia Sahib and Honorable Chief Minister Gujarat in supporting the healthcare sector to reach its full potential and meet its stated goal to serve the wellness of every individual, not only in India but across the globe. My best wishes to all the delegates. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for your valuable words and encouraging words too. मैं अब श्री ऋषिकेश पटेल, माननीय मंत्री श्री आरोग्य અને પરિવાર કલ્યાણ, તબીબી શિક્ષણ, વોટર રિસોર્સિસ અને વોટર સપ્લાયને વિનંતી કરીશ કે આ પ્રાસંગિક ઉદ્બોધન કરશો જી.
Good morning, everybody. Sir, we are very much happy to be here with us, your gracious presence. Honorable Chief Minister Bhupendra Bhai Patel, Honorable Health Minister और हमारे मार्गदर्शक मनसुख भाई मांडविया जी, हमारे राज्य के MOS निमिषाबेन, S अपर्णा जी, मनोज अग्रवाल जी, डॉक्टर सारा मैक्यूमेलम, VG सोमाणी, HG कोशिया जी और आप सब इंटेलेक्चुएट बुद्धिजीवी वर्ग, आप सब यहाँ गुजरात में आपका सादर स्वागत है। मेरे हिसाब से जो गुजरात फार्मा इंडस्ट्री में डिवाइसेस में जो डेवलपमेंट और प्रगति कर रहा है, लगभग पूरे इंडिया में गुजरात का एक अलग और आगवा स्थान है। इंडिया एंजॉयज एन इम्पोर्टेंट पोजीशन in the global pharmaceutical sector. India is the largest provider of generic drugs globally. There are more than 10,000 drugs manufacturing units in the country. India offers more than 60,000 generic drug brands across 60 therapeutic categories. Also, Indian supplies more than 60% of global demand for various vaccines and almost two-thirds of the antiretroviral drug used globally. The country also has a large pool of scientists and engineers with a potential to steer the industry ahead to greater heights. Gujarat accounts for nearly one-third of the pharmaceutical market in India. We have a strong presence in the pharmaceutical sector and have established ourselves as a national leader in the manufacturing of pharmaceuticals. More than 3,300 pharmaceutical units are operational in the state, including more than 130 US FDA approved units and around 700 WHO GMP manufacturing units. The Gujarat government is setting up a bulk drug park in Bharuch. We accept investment of over 11,000 crores in the project. The bulk drug park will have common facilities from warehouse to testing labs. This will help to boost capacity, build cost competitiveness, and broaden product portfolio. Data indicates that in 2018-19, more than two-thirds of our requirements for bulk drug and intermediates were imported from other countries. Gujarat is a front runner in pharmaceutical production in the state. The bulk drug park will contribute towards reducing our dependence upon importance of key starting materials and raw materials. The Gujarat State Food and Drug Control Administration, FDCA, is making further efforts towards increase the ease of doing business in the pharmaceutical industries within Gujarat. The Gujarat FDCA was one of the first state regulators to introduce drug manufacturing license application software in the country, which enable the regulator to efficiently process the approval and renewal application received in a transparent and timely manner. In 2017, Gujarat FDCA reduced the stipulated timelines for the granting and renewal of manufacturing license to 60 days from the earlier prescribed timeline of 120 and 180 days respectively. Since then, over 300 new pharmaceuticals manufacturing facilities have been established or proposed to be set up in the Gujarat. Access to quality and affordable healthcare has been a priority area for our government. As per survey conducted by National Sample Survey Office in India, 72% of rural population and 68% of urban populations and the spending out of pocket for their medical care. In order to reduce the out of pocket expenditure on medicine, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana of the Government of India and Deen Dayal Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadh Store of Gujarat, of Government of Gujarat, provide generic medicines to patient. However, generic medicines cost 30% to 80% lesser than their branded version. Generic medicines are effective as branded drugs in terms of their safety and efficacy. Currently, there are 229 Greenfield Deen Dayal Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Store in Gujarat. In addition, there are 64 Brownfield Deen Dayal Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Store in Gujarat. I believe Gujarat is ideally positioned to lead our efforts to reduce our dependence upon imports and bulk drugs and pharmaceuticals and medical devices. The proposed production-linked incentive scheme of the Government of India and the upcoming bulk drugs park combined with our existing manufacturing capabilities gives us a vantage position. I think Sri Bhupendrabhai Patel, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, and Sri Mansukh Mandaviya, Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare and Chemicals and Fertilizers, Government of India, for joining us here in this forum today. Under your able leadership and guidance, I am confident that we will all be able to work together collectively towards achieve our goals of आत्मनिर्भर भारत. और साथ में मैं ये भी बताना चाहूँगा, गुजरात इज असिस्टेंस गवर्नमेंट. छोटे बड़े आपके कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो, इंडस्ट्री के लिए हो, फार्मा सेक्टर के लिए हो, सब के लिए हम भूपेंद्र भाई पटेल के मार्गदर्शन में कोई भी छोटे बड़े आपकी मुश्किलें, आपकी कोई भी प्रॉब्लम्स बिल्कुल हम सुनने के लिए तैयार है और आपका साथ देने के लिए भी तैयार है. अभी अभी एक छोटी सी मुश्किल फार्मा मैन्युफैक्चरर्स के लिए आई थी, तुरंत हमारा ध्यान उन्होंने उस विषय में, उस सब्जेक्ट में मार्गदर्शित किया और तुरंत ही हमारे मनोज अग्रवाल जी और हमने उस प्रॉब्लम को भी सॉल्व किया। मतलब कि ये जो गवर्नमेंट है वो असिस्टिंग गवर्नमेंट है। आप सब लोगों के लिए और आत्मनिर्भर भारत बनाने के लिए गुजरात जो भी कर सकता है वो करने के लिए तैयार है। आप सबका फिर से पुनः एक बार स्वागत है। धन्यवाद।
सर, आपके प्रेरणापूर्ण शब्दों के लिए हम आपका आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। अब मैं डॉक्टर मनसुख मांडविया, माननीय मंत्री श्री हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर एंड केमिकल्स एंड फर्टिलाइजर, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से नम्र निवेदन करूंगी कि वे अपने विचार हमारे समक्ष प्रस्तुत करें। थैंक यू सर।
वाइब्रेंट गुजरात समिट की प्री इवेंट में हम सब लोगों को मार्गदर्शन करने के लिए उपस्थित राज्य के यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय भूपेंद्र भाई, मेरे मित्र और राज्य के हेल्थ मिनिस्टर श्री ऋषिकेश भाई, राज्य के MOS हेल्थ निमिषाबेन सुथार जी, सेक्रेटरी फार्मा S अपर्णा जी, अग्रवाल जी, कोसिया जी, सोमानी जी, मेक मुलन जी, मंच पर उपस्थित सभी महानुभाव, सभी इंडस्ट्रीज से आए हुए भाई एवं बहनों, आज की इवेंट का मेरी दृष्टि से बहुत महत्व है। ये वाइब्रेंट गुजरात समिट 10th एडिशन की हेल्थ सेक्टर की प्री इवेंट है, लेकिन जब वाइब्रेंट गुजरात समिट में आप सब लोग पार्टिसिपेंट करें, आपकी अपॉर्चुनिटी क्या है, इंटरनेशनल सिनारियो क्या है, भारत सरकार और राज्य सरकार की फार्मा सेक्टर में, हेल्थ सेक्टर में नीति क्या है, पॉलिसी क्या है, जो आपको अगले दिनों में इन्वेस्ट करने के लिए, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करने के लिए, आपकी इंडस्ट्रीज को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका रखती है। इसलिए आज की इवेंट मेरी दृष्टि से बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। दोस्तों, देश बदल रहा है, मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में देश आगे बढ़ रहा है, नया भारत का निर्माण हो रहा है। नया भारत में सभी व्यवस्था को देखने की दृष्टि बदल चुकी है। यहां होलिस्टिक हेल्थ की बात हुई है। मोदी जी ने सारी व्यवस्था, सारी चीजों को टोटल में देखा है। इंडस्ट्रीज डेवलपमेंट टोटल देखनी चाहिए। जब फार्मा इंडस्ट्रीज की बात होती है तब हेल्थ उसके साथ जुड़ जाता है। इसलिए देखो, एक होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट की राह कैसी हो सकती है। हेल्थ मिनिस्टर और फार्मा मिनिस्टर कभी एक नहीं होते थे। यह मोदी जी ने पहली बार हेल्थ मिनिस्टर एंड फार्मा मिनिस्टर एक बना दिया। उसका फायदा है क्योंकि हेल्थ की सारी नीति फार्मा पर डिपेंडेंट होती है, फार्मा की सारी नीति हेल्थ पर डिपेंडेंट होती है। क्योंकि हमारे डीजी ये हमारे हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री में आते हैं, लेकिन उसका सारा काम, ड्रग्स कंट्रोलर जनरल का सारा काम होता है फार्मा में। तो मैं जब फार्मा मिनिस्टर था तब मैं कोई विषय उसके सामने रखता था तो उसको फिर से उसकी अप्रूवल के लिए हेल्थ मिनिस्टर के पास जाना पड़ता था। अभी मुझे ही इनिशिएट करना है और मुझे ही अप्रूवल देना है। दोनों चीज इकट्ठा होने से एक होलिस्टिक अप्रोच बनता है, और ये होलिस्टिक अप्रोच मोदी जी ने कोई चीज को टोकन में नहीं देखा है, टोटल में देखा है। और हेल्थ को कभी डेवलपमेंट के साथ जोड़ी ही नहीं गई थी ये देश में। हेल्थ मतलब ट्रीटमेंट। हेल्थ डेवलपमेंट पर क्या इफेक्ट करती है? जिस देश का नागरिक स्वस्थ नहीं होता, इस देश की सोसाइटी स्वस्थ नहीं होती, समाज तंदुरुस्त नहीं होता। और जिस देश का समाज सोसाइटी तंदुरुस्त नहीं होती, ये देश कैसे आगे बढ़ सकते हैं? मोदी जी ने हेल्थ सेक्टर को डेवलपमेंट के साथ जोड़ के गरीब से गरीब लोगों को हेल्थ केयर कैसे एक्सेस हो और कैसे अफोर्डेबल हो, इसलिए जब वो देश के प्रधानमंत्री बने तब से एफर्ट लेना शुरू किया। मोदी जी ने आयुष्मान भारत की एक चैनल चलाई, एक व्यवस्था चलाई, एक परियोजना चलाई, आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर। ये आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर क्या है? देश में 5-6 गांव के बीच में एक हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर हो। सारे देश में 1,50,000 हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर के माध्यम से 5-6 गांव में एक ऐसा सेंटर, वहां 10, 15, 20 टाइप की डायग्नोसिस वहां ही हो जाए, वहां उसको ट्रीटमेंट मिल जाए। उसमें डायबिटिक पेशेंट है, वहां डायग्नोसिस हो जाए, बीपी है, वहां डायग्नोसिस हो जाए। आपको कोई महिला हो, ब्रेस्ट कैंसर हो, ओरल कैंसर हो, सर्वाइकल कैंसर हो, ये प्राइमरी लेवल पर जो उसका डायग्नोसिस हो जाए तो उसका जीवन बच सकता है। इस तरह की व्यवस्था सारे देश में खड़ी हो, इसलिए मोदी जी ने आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर की योजना चलाई। आज 90,000 हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर बन चुका है। अगले 2 साल में 1,50,000 हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर बना के हेल्थ सेक्टर को, हेल्थ को एक्सेस किया। उसके बाद वहां तो डायग्नोसिस हो गया। डायग्नोसिस हो जाने के बाद गांव में रहने वाले गरीब लोग, उसको ट्रीटमेंट आगे मिलनी चाहिए, तो आगे कहां तक जाना? टर्शरी केयर कहां तक एक्सेस हो, मिडिल केयर, मीडियम केयर कहां तक एक्सेस हो? मोदी जी ने तय किया डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल को स्ट्रेंथ करने की आवश्यकता है। डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल को स्ट्रेंथ करे तो डॉक्टर चाहिए, हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेंटर में डॉक्टर चाहिए। तो मोदी जी ने कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव सोचा कि देश में एमबीबीएस की सीट बढ़नी चाहिए। आज हो 35,000 से आगे बढ़ के 85,000 हो चुकी है, और अगले दिनों में 1 लाख हो जाएगी। एमबीबीएस की 1 लाख सीट हो, तब जाके डॉक्टर मिलेंगे। डॉक्टर हॉस्पिटल में होना चाहिए, हॉस्पिटल अच्छे होनी चाहिए। नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन के माध्यम से डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल को स्ट्रेंथन किया जा रहा है। टर्शरी केयर भी मिलनी चाहिए, उत्तम कक्षा की ट्रीटमेंट मिलनी चाहिए। तो मोदी जी ने तय किया कि हर स्टेट में एक एम्स हो। 22 एम्स। मोदी जी जब प्रधानमंत्री बने तब 6 एम्स थी। आज 22 एम्स चालू हो चुकी है, और वो एफोर्डेबल होनी चाहिए। मैं विषय आपको इसलिए बता रहा हूं कि मैं आगे ये बात आपको बताऊंगा कि उसका फायदा आपको कैसे है, इंडस्ट्रीज को कैसे है। यहां बताया गया देश में 8,500 से अधिक जन औषधि स्टोर है। जेनरिक मेडिसिन का व्याप बढ़े, सस्ती मेडिसिन, क्वालिटी मेडिसिन देश के नागरिकों को उपलब्ध हो, इसलिए 8,500 से अधिक जन औषधि स्टोर पर मैक्सिमम 50%, मिनिमम 20%, 25%, 30% प्राइस में आज जेनरिक मेडिसिन उपलब्ध हो रही है। आज से 7 साल पहले देश में जेनरिक मेडिसिन का शेयर ओनली 2% था, वो आज बढ़ के 8% हो गया है। अगले दिनों में और आगे बढ़ेगा। ये इसलिए आवश्यक है। आज आप देखो अमेरिका में 4 टैबलेट लोग लेते हैं, वहां में एक इंडिया में बनी हुई जेनरिक मेडिसिन है, जेनरिक टैबलेट है। दुनिया में 6 टैबलेट दुनिया खाती है तो एक इंडिया में बनी हुई जेनरिक टैबलेट है। हम दुनिया में जेनरिक मेडिसिन उपलब्ध करवा रहे हैं और हम यहाँ ब्रांडेड मेडिसिन खा के हमारा पॉकेट का खर्च बढ़ा रहे हैं। हेल्थ केयर एक्सेस इस तरह से किया जाता है, हेल्थ केयर अफोर्डेबल इस तरह से किया जाता है। जब कमिटमेंट और डेडिकेशन से कोई काम होता है उसका ये आउटपुट निकल के आपके सामने आया है। उसके अलावा देश में फार्मा सेक्टर आगे बढ़े और 4 आयाम में काम हो रहा है। क्यों भारत में फार्मा सेक्टर के लिए एक बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी है। 10,000 से अधिक हमारे एमएसएमई प्लांट है फार्मा के, और आगे बढ़ सकता है और आगे प्लांट यहाँ आ सकता है और इंडस्ट्रीज आने की संभावना इसलिए है, नहीं केवल हम बना के एक्सपोर्ट करें। दोस्तों याद रखिए, हिंदुस्तान में मिडिल क्लास बढ़ रहा है, तेजी से बढ़ रहा है। भारत सरकार की ओर से योजना इस हेल्थ केयर के लिए ऐसी आ रही है जिस योजना में पहले लोगों के पास हेल्थ एक्सेस नहीं था, वो खर्च नहीं कर पाते थे। आज उनके ओर से आयुष्मान भारत योजना के माध्यम से देश में 10 करोड़ फैमिली यानी कि 50 करोड़ लोग, एक फैमिली में 5 लाख तक का खर्च हो। एक गरीब गांव में रहने वाला गरीब हो, उसके पैर में दर्द होता हो, घुटन बदलने की आवश्यकता हो, वो नहीं बदला पाते थे क्योंकि उसके लिए खर्च होता था, उसके जेब में पैसा नहीं होता था। किसी को कोई छोटी मोटी बीमारी है, कैंसर है, ऑपरेशन करना है, पैसा नहीं होता था। मैंने देखा है, मैं भावनगर के गांव से आता हूं। जब गांव में कोई बीमार होता है, हॉस्पिटल जाते हैं, हॉस्पिटल में उसको डायग्नोसिस होता है, कहते हैं आपका हार्ट का ऑपरेशन करना पड़ेगा। उसकी फैमिली पूछते हैं खर्च कितना होगा, 1.5 लाख का 2 लाख का खर्च है। गरीब परिवार, मजदूरी करने वाला परिवार, उसके पास 2 लाख रुपया नहीं होता है। इस स्थिति में 50-60 साल की उम्र हो, बच्चे छोटे हो, पढ़ाई चलती हो, बेटी बड़ी हुई हो, उसकी शादी की चिंता हो, ऐसी स्थिति में जब डॉक्टर बोलते हैं कि आपको ऑपरेशन करने की आवश्यकता है, तब मरीज बोलता है कि मुझे ऑपरेशन नहीं कराना है, मुझे घर पे वापस ले जाओ। उसका बेटा बेटी चाहते हैं कि उसके पिताजी को ऑपरेशन कराना है, लेकिन स्वयं अपनी परिवार की चिंता करते हुए ऑपरेशन करने की मना करते थे। मना इसलिए करते थे 2 लाख रुपया का खर्च हो जाए, फैमिली किसी शाहूकार के यहाँ पैसा लेके शायद ऑपरेशन तो करवा दे, लेकिन परिवार पर नेगेटिव इफेक्ट होती है। उसकी बच्चे की पढ़ाई खत्म हो जाती है, कभी शादी में विलंब हो जाता है बेटी की। ऐसा सोच के वो घर पे वापस चले जाते थे। मोदी जी ने आयुष्मान भारत योजना चलाई और आयुष्मान भारत योजना के तहत आज ये 2 लाख रुपया का ऑपरेशन नहीं केवल सरकार के अस्पताल में होता है। आज तक तो यही फिलॉसफी चलती थी कि गरीब लोगों की हॉस्पिटल यानी कि सरकारी हॉस्पिटल, सरकारी अस्पताल ही गरीबों का इलाज करती थी। जी नहीं, आज आयुष्मान भारत योजना के तहत एक अमीर परिवार जिस हॉस्पिटल में इलाज कराता हो और उसके बेड, जिस बेड पर वो इलाज कराता हो, उसके बगल वाले बेड में हिंदुस्तान के गरीब परिवार का इलाज हो रहा है। दोस्तों, एक खर्च सरकार की तिजोरी से जाता है। शायद अमीर तो अपने जेब से खर्च कर लेता है, लेकिन गरीब के जेब से पैसा न जाए, उसकी चिंता मोदी जी ने की है। और इसलिए आयुष्मान भारत योजना के तहत ऑपरेशन हो रहा है यानी कि ट्रीटमेंट करवा रहा है, वो मेडिसिन उसको आवश्यक है, वो खरीद रहा है, यानी कि फार्मा सेक्टर के लिए एक अपॉर्चुनिटी बन रही है। नहीं केवल हम आत्मनिर्भर बने, हम हमारी जरूरियात पूरी करें, लेकिन हमारे इंडस्ट्रीज में ये भी क्षमता है, हम हमारी भी जरूरियात पूरी करें, हम दुनिया को भी मदद करें। और दुनिया को मदद करते हुए हमने देखा जब कोविड क्राइसिस, लॉकडाउन चल रहा था, फर्स्ट वेव चल रहा था, उस वक्त आप ही इंडस्ट्रीज ने, आप लोगों ने ही देश की तो ज़रूरियात पूरी की थी, लेकिन विश्व के 150 देशों में मेडिसिन का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करके सप्लाई करने का काम, दुनिया को सहयोग करने का काम आपके माध्यम से हुआ था दोस्तों। ये हमारी क्षमता है। देश में ब्रेन पावर और मैन पावर की कभी कमी नहीं थी। सवाल था उसको चैनलाइज करने का, सवाल था उसको सहयोग करने का। जब देश में मोदी जी ने मीटिंग बुलाई थी कि देश में वैक्सीन प्रोडक्शन करना है, वैक्सीन का रिसर्च करना है, सभी इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट के साथ मोदी जी बैठे थे और मीटिंग पूरी होने के बाद कई हमारी बड़ी इंडस्ट्रीज मुझे आके कहा कि हमने तो रिसर्च करना है लेकिन हिंदुस्तान में 3 साल में परमिशन नहीं मिलती है रिसर्च को। दोस्तों स्थिति बदल रही है। हमारे साइंटिस्ट में रिसर्च करने की तो क्षमता थी लेकिन सिस्टम ऐसी थी, इस सिस्टम में पास होते होते 2-3 साल हो जाता था, तब रिसर्च को अप्रूवल मिलती थी। हमारे डीजीसीआई सोमानी सब लोगों को सरकार ने सूचना दी कि भाई सिस्टम को सरल करो, ऐसी सरल करो जिसमें क्वालिटी भी बनी रहे और उसको परमिशन भी तुरंत ही मिले। 9 महीने में हिंदुस्तान में रिसर्च भी हो गया वैक्सीन का और प्रोडक्शन भी हो गया और अप्रूवल भी हो गया। और हमारा अपर्णा जी मेहनत कर रही है अभी। केवल रिसर्च, हम केवल जेनरिक ही मेडिसिन बनाते रहे और फार्मेसी ऑफ द वर्ल्ड के कहलाते रहे, ऐसा नहीं। हमें यहाँ रिसर्च करना है, रिसर्च करके हमारी पेटेंट हो और हमारी पेटेंटेड मेडिसिन दुनिया के मार्केट में हम बेच सके, इसलिए रिसर्च पॉलिसी पर काम हो रहा है। अगले दिनों में रिसर्च करने वाले इंडस्ट्रीज को फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट कैसे दिया जा सके जो दुनिया में प्रैक्टिस हो, यही प्रैक्टिस हिंदुस्तान में भी होनी है। इस दिशा में तेजी से काम चल रहा है। और अगले दिनों में मैं लास्ट वीक दुबई गया था, हमारे भूपेंद्र भाई जाके आए तो सभी वहाँ के इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पर सराहना हो रही थी और वाइब्रेंट गुजरात समिट के बारे में बातचीत हो रही थी। मुझे बता रहे थे कि आपके चीफ मिनिस्टर आए थे, हमने इनवाइटेशन दे के गए हैं। वहाँ की सरकार ने मुझे कहा कि हम भी डेलीगेशन के साथ इंडिया आएंगे। क्यों इंडिया आ रहा है दोस्तों? आप लोगों को 2 अपॉर्चुनिटी है इंडिया में। इंडस्ट्रीज, आपकी इंडस्ट्रीज को आप आगे बढ़ाओ, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बढ़ाओ, आत्मनिर्भर भारत को आत्मसात करो, निर्यात करो, एक्सपोर्ट करो। उसके अलावा दुनिया चाहती है आज उसको इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है, तो इन्वेस्टमेंट डेस्टिनेशन वो इंडिया मानता है। आफ्टर कोविड दुनिया की स्थिति बदल गई है। आज दुनिया को इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के लिए कहां जाना है तो उसकी पहली प्रायोरिटी इंडिया है, उसको पार्टनरशिप करनी है। मेरे पास कई ग्लोबल फंड मेरे साथ बातचीत कर रहे थे। मैंने कहा कि मेरे गुजरात में, मेरे इंडिया में कई नए एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, वो वैक्सीन डेवलप करना चाहते हैं, वैक्सीन बनाना चाहते हैं और वो लोग वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहते हैं। मैंने कहा कि आइए इंडिया में, हमारे मैन्युफैक्चरर्स के साथ आप एमओयू करिए, उसके साथ पार्टनरशिप करिए। हमारे यहाँ स्किल पावर है, मैन पावर है और तीसरा हिंदुस्तान में विश्वास भी है। विश्वसनीयता है हमारी ताकत है दोस्तों। हम इतना एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं लेकिन फर्स्ट वेव, सेकंड वेव के दरमियान हमने एक्सपोर्ट किया, हमने वैक्सीन एक्सपोर्ट किया। दुनिया में कहाँ भी मेरी इंडस्ट्रीज, हिंदुस्तान की इंडस्ट्रीज, मेरे इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट ने क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट दिया है, कहाँ से भी शिकायत नहीं आई है। ये आपकी स्ट्रेंथ है दोस्तों और इसलिए दुनिया इंडिया में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहती है। उनके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है, हमारे लिए भी अपॉर्चुनिटी है, विन विन सिचुएशंस है। इसलिए वाइब्रेंट गुजरात समिट का हमें फायदा कैसे ले? दुनिया आज इंडिया में अपॉर्चुनिटी देखती है, उसको हम कैसे एनकेज करें। मैंने इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पर एक काम हाथ में लिया है। आप लोगों को दिक्कत भी हो रही है, एक्सपोर्ट करना है तो वहाँ के ऑफिसर आएंगे, आपका प्लांट की विजिट करेंगे, चेकिंग करेंगे, बाद में अप्रूवल देंगे, बाद में आप एक्सपोर्ट कर पाएंगे। आज हिंदुस्तान की ताकत बनी है। हम दुनिया के साथ बातचीत करते हैं तब हम कहते हैं इंडियन फार्माकोपिया को मानिए। म्यूचुअल एग्रीमेंट से इंडियन फार्माकोपिया को मानने के लिए दुनिया राजी होने लगी है, तब जाके आपके यहाँ कोई नई इंस्पेक्शन में आएंगे, आपने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग किया और आप जिसने हिंदुस्तान का फार्माकोपिया को मान लिया है वहाँ आप आसानी से एक्सपोर्ट कर पाएंगे, ये अपॉर्चुनिटी ओपन हो रही है। और इसलिए आने वाले दिनों में इस सब अपॉर्चुनिटी को देखते हुए वाइब्रेंट गुजरात समिट का मैक्सिमम से मैक्सिमम लाभ उठाइए। आप अभी से ही प्लानिंग करिए। आने वाले दिनों में इंडिया का मार्केट, इंटरनेशनल मार्केट, दुनिया की भारत के प्रति देखने की नजरिया, यहाँ जो व्यवस्था है दुनिया में नहीं है। लोग इस बात से खुश है, इंडिया इज ए लार्ज डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री, स्ट्रॉन्ग लीडरशिप, एंड थर्ड, India's judiciary is giving justice on base of merit. भारत की जुडिशरी ने कभी ऐसा नहीं किया है कि विदेशी कंपनी है तो हम उसके खिलाफ जजमेंट दे देंगे। जी नहीं, दुनिया को इसलिए हिंदुस्तान पर विश्वास है। हिंदुस्तान की यही ताकत है दोस्तों। ये ताकत का फायदा मेरे देश के इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट सबसे ज़्यादा उठाए, स्वयं भी सशक्त बने, अपने इंडस्ट्रीज़ को भी आगे बढ़ाए, हमारे देश की ज़रूरियात को भी पूर्ण करे, दुनिया को भी मदद करे। मैं तो ऐसा मानता हूँ दोस्तों, तो अवसर है। आप मेडिसिन जब बनाते हैं ना, सस्ती मेडिसिन बनाते हैं, रीजनेबल प्रॉफिट के साथ आप मेडिसिन बना के देश की जनता को उपलब्ध कराएंगे। एक सेवा है, उत्तम सेवा है। मैं मानता हूँ कि राष्ट्र का काम है। देश के नागरिकों को सस्ती दवाएं मिले, उसकी हेल्थ बनी रहे, अच्छी रहे, उसमें हम सेवा का ये रास्ता तय नहीं कर सकते क्या? ये भी एक रास्ता हो सकता है। देश के जवान सरहद पर खड़ा होकर देश की सुरक्षा करते हैं, राष्ट्रभक्ति करते हैं, देश का काम करते हैं, और हम शायद सरहद पर नहीं जा सके हैं। एक इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है तो एक इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट के तौर पर हम सस्ता मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करके सस्ती दवाएं देश को उपलब्ध कराए। मैं मानता हूँ ये भी एक देश सेवा ही है। और मेरी अपेक्षा है कि मोदी जी की अपेक्षा को पूर्ण करने के लिए सरकार, इंडस्ट्रीज, हम सब लोग साथ में मिलके नया भारत का निर्माण में सहयोग करें, यही अपेक्षा है। धन्यवाद।
माननीय मंत्री जी, आपके प्रोत्साहनपूर्ण शब्दों के लिए हम आपका धन्यवाद करते हैं। Gujarat has been in the top of pharma and medical devices for quite long. This sector has worked relentlessly day in and day out so that the entire mankind can be benefited. It's indeed our pleasure that today we are unveiling the book, 6 Decades of FDCA and Pharma Industry, Gujarat. मैं माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री मनसुख मांडविया जी एवं मंचस्थ विराजमान सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों से नम्र निवेदन करूंगी कि वे अपने कर कमलों से इस पुस्तिका का अनावरण करें। जी सर, आई एम सॉरी। હવે હું ખૂબ ઉત્સાહ અને ઉમળકાભેર આપણા ગુજરાત રાજ્યના માનનીય મુખ્યમંત્રી શ્રી ભૂપેન્દ્રભાઈ પટેલને નમ્ર વિનંતી કરીશ કે આપ અહીંયા ઉપસ્થિત સમસ્ત સભાગણને સંબોધશો જી।
વાઇબ્રન્ટ ગુજરાત પ્રી ઇવેન્ટ સમિટ હોલિસ્ટિક હેલ્થ કેર ફોકસ ઓન ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ્સ અને મેડિકલ ડિવાઇસીસ પ્રોગ્રામમાં મારી સાથે મંચ ઉપર ઉપસ્થિત ભારત સરકારના આરોગ્ય અને ફેમિલી વેલફેર મંત્રી શ્રીમાન મનસુખભાઈ માંડવિયાજી, મારા સાથી કેબિનેટ મંત્રી શ્રી ઋષિકેશભાઈ પટેલ, રાજ્ય સરકારના મંત્રી શ્રી નિમિષાબેન સુથાર, ભારત સરકારના સચિવ એસ અપર્ણાબેન, અધિક અમારા મુખ્ય સચિવ મનોજ અગ્રવાલજી, ભારત સરકારના ડ્રગ્સ કંટ્રોલર શ્રી ડૉક્ટર વીજી સોમાની, ફૂડ એન્ડ ડ્રગ્સ કમિશનર શ્રી ડૉક્ટર એસજી કોશિયાજી, યુએસએફડીએના ડાયરેક્ટર શ્રી ડૉક્ટર સરા મેકમુલન, ફિક્કીના કો ચેરમેન શ્રી ગીતાબેન ગોરડિયા, ઉપસ્થિત સૌ આમંત્રિત મહેમાનો, ભાઈઓ બહેનો અને પ્રેસ મીડિયાના મિત્રો, હોલિસ્ટિક હેલ્થકેર ફોકસ ઓન ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ એન્ડ મેડિકલ ડિવાઇસીસ વિષય વસ્તુ સાથે યોજાયેલી આ વાઇબ્રન્ટ ગુજરાત સમિટની પ્રી ઇવેન્ટ સમિટમાં ઉપસ્થિત આપ સૌને હું આવકારું છું. વાઇબ્રન્ટ સમિટની પ્રી ઇવેન્ટ શૃંખલાની આજે ત્રીજી મહત્ત્વની કડી યોજાઈ રહી છે. ફાર્મા અને હેલ્થ સેક્ટરના ઉદ્યોગકારોનો જાણે મહાસાગર અહીં ઉમટ્યો છે. વડાપ્રધાન શ્રી નરેન્દ્રભાઈ મોદીના નેતૃત્વ હેઠળ 2003માં વાઇબ્રન્ટ ગુજરાત ગ્લોબલ સમિટની પહેલ થઈ તે આજે ગુજરાતની ગ્લોબલ બ્રાન્ડ ઇમેજ બની ગઈ છે. આત્મનિર્ભર ગુજરાતથી આત્મનિર્ભર ભારત થીમ સાથે જાન્યુઆરી મહિનામાં યોજાનારી વાઇબ્રન્ટ ગુજરાત ગ્લોબલ સમિટ 2022 ગુજરાતમાં વિવિધ ક્ષેત્રોમાં આંતરરાષ્ટ્રીય સહયોગ અને ભાગીદારી વધારશે તેવો મને વિશ્વાસ છે. સસ્ટેનેબલ ડેવલપમેન્ટ સાથેના પડકારો પાર કરી આગળનો માર્ગ નક્કી કરવાની તક એટલે વાઇબ્રન્ટ ગુજરાત ગ્લોબલ સમિટ. આપ સૌ ઉદ્યોગકારોને આગામી વાઇબ્રન્ટ સમિટમાં સહભાગી બનવાનું હું નિમંત્રણ પાઠવું છું. ગુજરાત ઉદ્યોગ સાહસિકોની ભૂમિ છે, વેપાર અને વાણિજ્યનું મુખ્ય કેન્દ્ર છે. ભારતમાં ઔદ્યોગિક રીતે સૌથી વધુ વિકસિત રાજ્યોમાંનું એક છે. 2021-22માં ફોરેન ડાયરેક્ટ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ મેળવવામાં ગુજરાત પ્રથમ છે. 2021માં લીડ ઇન્ડેક્સમાં પહેલું સ્થાન મેળવ્યું છે. ગુજરાત ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ અને તબીબી ઉપકરણોના ક્ષેત્રમાં નાના યુનિટથી લઈ મોટી કંપનીઓ ધરાવતું મહત્ત્વપૂર્ણ ઔદ્યોગિક કેન્દ્ર છે. દેશમાં પદ્ધતિસરના ફાર્મા ઉદ્યોગનું પાયોનિયર ગુજરાત છે. દેશમાં ફાર્મા દવા ક્ષેત્ર જ્યારે હજુ પ્રારંભિક તબક્કે હતું ત્યારે ગુજરાતમાં 1907માં દેશની પ્રથમ ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ કંપની એલેમ્બિક ફાર્મા સ્થપાઈ હતી. દેશની પ્રથમ ફાર્મસી કોલેજ LM કોલેજ ઓફ ફાર્મસી 1947માં અમદાવાદમાં સ્થપાઈ હતી. આજે ગુજરાતનો દવા ઉદ્યોગ 1 લાખ લોકોને રોજગારી પૂરી પાડે છે. ગુજરાતમાં ઉત્પાદિત થતી દવાઓ અને ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ ક્ષેત્રને લોકોનો સંપૂર્ણ ભરોસો અને વિશ્વાસ સંપાદિત કર્યો છે. વિશ્વમાં ગુણવત્તા શ્રેષ્ઠતાના માનાંક ઉપર ગુજરાતનો ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ ઉદ્યોગ ખરો ઉતર્યો છે. ગુજરાતની 6 દાયકાની આ ક્ષેત્રે સફળતાની ગાથા પ્રસ્તુત કરતી બુકનું પણ આજે લોન્ચિંગ થયું છે. ગુજરાત ભારતના ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ ઉદ્યોગનું સેન્ટર પોઈન્ટ છે એમ કહેવામાં જરા પણ અતિશયોક્તિ નથી. ભારતના કુલ ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ ઉત્પાદનના 33% તો ગુજરાત એકલું જ કરે છે. ગુજરાતને ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ હબ બનવાની પ્રતિબદ્ધતા સાકાર થઈ છે. ગુજરાતમાં અંદાજે 5000 યુનિટમાંથી 750થી વધુ તો WHOના માન્ય પ્રોડક્ટ્સ યુનિટ છે. ટીબીની સારવારની દવાના કુલ વૈશ્વિક ઉત્પાદનમાં ગુજરાતનો હિસ્સો 80% છે. ગુજરાત તબીબી ઉપકરણોના ઉત્પાદનમાં પણ અગ્રણી રાજ્ય છે. કાર્ડિયાક સ્ટેન્ટ અને ઓર્થોપેડિક વિષયક કૃત્રિમ અંગોના ઉત્પાદનમાં ગુજરાત દેશમાં મોખરે છે. ગુજરાતમાં કાર્ડિયાક સ્ટેન્ટનું 78%, ઓર્થોપેડિક ઇમ્પ્લાન્ટ્સનું 60%, ઇન્ટ્રાઓક્યુલર લેન્સીસનું 35% જેટલું ઉત્પાદન થાય છે. આઈવી સેટ, નીડલ, સિરિંજ જેવા મેડિકલ ડિવાઇસના દેશના કુલ ઉત્પાદન પૈકી 80% ઉત્પાદનો ગુજરાતમાં થાય છે. હૃદયને સ્પર્શતી ગંભીર બીમારીઓ, હાડકાની બીમારી વગેરેના સહાયક મેડિકલ ડિવાઇસીસ ગુજરાતે વિકસાવ્યા છે અને તેના નિર્માણમાં અગ્રેસર બન્યું છે. કોવિડ મહામારીને કારણે અડચણો આવવા છતાં ગુજરાતે ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ ક્ષેત્રના ગ્રીનફિલ્ડ અને બ્રાઉનફિલ્ડ બંને પ્રોજેક્ટ્સમાં નવા રોકાણો મેળવ્યા છે. ગુજરાતની વાઇબ્રન્ટ ઇકોનોમીની આ સાબિતી છે. ગુજરાતમાં વૈશ્વિક કક્ષાની શૈક્ષણિક સંસ્થાઓ આવેલી છે જે પ્રતિભાવાન યુવાનોને તૈયાર કરી રહી છે. આપણા ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ અને તબીબી ઉપકરણો બનાવતા ઉદ્યોગોને માનવબળ ગોતવા ક્યાંય જવાની જરૂર નથી પડતી. ગુજરાતમાં મેન પાવર, મની કેપિટલ, મટીરિયલ, મશીનરી અને મેન્ટરશીપ બધું જ ઉપલબ્ધ છે. ગુજરાતમાં સ્થિત ઘણી ફાર્મા કંપનીઓ PLIમાં યોજના હેઠળ સહાય મેળવી રહી છે. ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ એન્ડ મેડિકલ ડિવાઇસીસ માટેની પ્રોડક્ટ્સ લિંક ઇન્વેસ્ટિવ સ્કીમનો લાભ મેળવવા માટે અન્ય ઘણી કંપનીઓ ક્વોલિફાય પણ થઈ છે. કેન્દ્ર સરકારની સહાયથી ભરૂચ જિલ્લામાં અત્યાધુનિક બ્લડ ડ્રગ પાર્ક સ્થાપવાની પ્રક્રિયા પ્રગતિમાં છે. એટલું જ નહીં, બદલાતા સમયના પડકારોને પહોંચી વળવા ગુજરાતનું ફાર્મા સેક્ટર સક્ષમ છે. તાજેતરમાં કોરોના મહામારી જે પણ દવાઓ ઔષધિઓની માંગ ઉઠી તેને પૂર્તિ ગુજરાતે કરી છે. દવા ઉપરાંત રસી અને API ઉત્પાદન જેવા ક્ષેત્રો તરફ પણ ગુજરાતનું ફાર્મા સેક્ટર વળ્યું છે. કોરોના સામેની વેક્સિન ઝાયડસ કેડિલાએ તૈયાર કરી છે, તેનું પણ આપણને ગૌરવ લઈ શકાય. આદરણીય વડાપ્રધાન શ્રી નરેન્દ્રભાઈ મોદીએ હરેક ક્ષેત્રે ભારતને આત્મનિર્ભર બનાવવા મેક ઇન ઇન્ડિયાને પ્રોત્સાહન આપવાની નીતિ અપનાવી છે. નાગરિકોના કલ્યાણ માટે ગુણવત્તાયુક્ત અને પરવડે તેવી હોલિસ્ટિક હેલ્થકેર અત્યંત મહત્ત્વની છે. ગુણવત્તાયુક્ત અને સસ્તી દવાઓ, જેનરિક મેડિસિનનો તેમાં સિંહ ફાળો છે. મિત્રો, આપણે જ્યારે કોઈ બીમારીનો ભોગ બનીએ છીએ ત્યારે ડૉક્ટર લખી આપેલી દવા પર પૂરો ભરોસો રાખતા હોઈએ છીએ. આ દવા મને ફરી પાછો દોડતો, ભાગતો અને સ્વસ્થ તંદુરસ્ત કરી દેશે એવા સંપૂર્ણ વિશ્વાસથી દવાઓનું સેવન કરતા હોઈએ છીએ. ક્યાંય પણ કોઈ હલકી કે ઉતરતી ગુણવત્તાની સબસ્ટાન્ડર્ડ દવાઓ ન વેચાય, ન બને તે માટે રાજ્ય અને કેન્દ્ર સરકાર સંપૂર્ણ સજાગ છે. ગુજરાતની ફૂડ એન્ડ ડ્રગ્સ એડમિનિસ્ટ્રેશન ઓથોરિટી દવાઓની ગુણવત્તાને લઈને સતર્ક છે. દવા જેવી જીવન રક્ષક બનવામાં કોઈ ચેડા આ સરકાર ચલાવી લેવા માગતી નથી. ભારત સરકારની પ્રધાનમંત્રી જન ઔષધિ યોજના અને ગુજરાત સરકાર દ્વારા શરૂ કરાયેલી દીનદયાળ પ્રધાનમંત્રી જન ઔષધિ સ્ટોર્સ બંનેનો હેતુ દવાઓ પર થતા ખર્ચને ઘટાડવાનો અને જરૂરતમંદ વ્યક્તિઓને સરળતાએ યોગ્ય દવા ઉપલબ્ધ કરાવવાનો છે. ગુજરાત સરકાર પણ ગુજરાત મેડિકલ સર્વિસ કોર્પોરેશન લિમિટેડ દ્વારા 700થી વધુ આવશ્યક દવાઓ મફતમાં ઉપલબ્ધ કરાવવા માટે વાર્ષિક 457 કરોડ રૂપિયાનો ખર્ચ કરે છે. આપણે રાજ્યના હેલ્થકેર અને ફાર્મા ઉદ્યોગને હજુ આગળ લઈ જવા કૃતનિશ્ચયી છીએ. સરકારના પ્રયત્નોમાં ફાર્મા સેક્ટરની કંપનીઓ પૂરક સહયોગ કરશે એવો મને વિશ્વાસ છે. હવેનો સમય આવતા 20 વર્ષના ભવિષ્યને ધ્યાનમાં રાખીને લોકોને વ્યાજબી ભાવે દવા અને આરોગ્ય સેવા પ્રદાન કરવાનું આયોજન ઘડવાનું છે. હોલિસ્ટિક હેલ્થકેર, ફોકસ ઓન ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ એન્ડ મેડિકલ ડિવાઇસીસ પરની આ પ્રિવેન્ટ સૌને આ દિશામાં આગળ ધપવા ચોક્કસ પ્રેરિત કરશે તેમ હું સમજું છું. વડાપ્રધાન શ્રી નરેન્દ્રભાઈ મોદીના આત્મનિર્ભર ભારતના વિઝનને સાકાર કરવામાં ગુજરાતનું ફાર્મા અને મેડિકલ ડિવાઇસીસ ક્ષેત્ર આત્મનિર્ભર બની સંપૂર્ણ સહયોગ આપવા તૈયાર છે. આજની આ પ્રી ઇવેન્ટ ટેકનિકલ સેશન દરમિયાન ગુજરાત અને ભારતે આ ક્ષેત્રે આત્મનિર્ભર બનાવવાની ચર્ચા પરામર્શ કરી ભવિષ્યનો રોડમેપ નક્કી થવાનો છે. આ રોડમેપ સર્વે ભવંતુ સુખીના સર્વે સંતુ નિરામયનો મંત્ર સાકાર કરે તેવી અપેક્ષા છે. પ્રી ઇવેન્ટની સફળતા માટે શુભેચ્છાઓ પાઠવું છું. આપ સૌનો ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર. જય જય ગરવી ગુજરાત.
માનનીય મુખ્યમંત્રી શ્રી, આપના પ્રોત્સાહનપૂર્ણ અને માહિતીપૂર્ણ સંબોધન માટે આપનો ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર. I now request Dr. H.G. Koshia, Commissioner, Food and Drugs Control Administration, Government of Gujarat, to deliver the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good morning, friends. Honorable चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ गुजरात माननीय श्री भूपेंद्र भाई पटेल, ये हमारे यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री है, बहुत सरल मुख्यमंत्री है, और हमारे जो पूर्व सीएम नरेंद्र भाई मोदी साहब ने बताया था सीएम इट्स ए कॉमन मैन, तो ये साहब ने चरितार्थ किया है। सो थैंक यू माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री भूपेंद्र भाई फॉर योर blessings, guidance in your valuable time to this event. I would like to thank our Honorable Union Health Minister and Union Chemical and Fertilizer Minister, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, who has traveled all the way from Delhi, in spite of very busy schedule of the Parliament and lot of priority. But yes, sir has rightly mentioned, for this keen interest and the holistic healthcare and how government can serve to the poorest of the poor by ensuring the affordable medicine by way of innovation. Friends, it's a lighting torch to all the galaxy of the pharma industry sitting in the audience that please focus on the innovation and do the best whatever you can do. Government with you, we do minimum government and maximum governance. We always have a pragmatic and proactive policy to support the good industry leaders in the state. I would also like to thank our Honorable Health Minister, Hrishikesh Bhai Patel. You are always helpful to the health department, but yes, FDCA being a very small department of the health, budgetary we are only 1% of the total health budget, but yes, it takes a lot of keen interest. And very recently, our Honorable Legislative Chief Secretary and Hrishikesh Patel has solved the burning issue of fees related to some fixed competition products. And sir, thank you, and you have supported a small and medium company across the state. I would also like to thank Nimisha Ben Sutar, our Minister of State for the Health Department. She is very kind by heart and always supportive to us and guiding the Food and Agri Department, the Health Department, with her best possible ideas. I also thank Madam S. Aparna, Secretary to the Government of India. Right now she is heading the Department of Pharmaceuticals, and under the able leadership of Honorable Union Health Minister and Minister of Chemical and Fertilizer, Mandavia sir, they are working very hard towards framing out the new policy of innovation, how to support the R&D activity in India. I would also like to thank our Honorable Legislative Secretary, Manoj Agarwal sir, who was always guiding, supportive, and is a very good boss, top master, and very, very meticulous planning to make this event a grand success, to make this event a brand. It takes a lot of pain, meticulous planning, in spite of very high priority in the different area in the health sector in the state, but he has given a lot of time, he devoted a lot of time to make this event a grand success. Thank you on behalf of the entire team. We thank you all. I would also like to thank Dr. Vijay Somani, the DCGI, the Drug Control General of India, who is always guiding us in the new policies, new initiatives, and right now, together we are drafting the new drug and cosmetic bill. And friend, I'm happy to share with you, even Saturday and Sunday, midnight up to 12:30 and sometime 1 o'clock, he's sitting in the office through Zoom meeting, video conferencing, and we are discussing and dialoguing and making this drug and cosmetic act a painless decriminalization for small petty offenses. We don't want to penalize the manufacturer without compromising the safety and the quality of the medicine. So that is the great work done by the DCGI office and under the able leadership of our Union Health Minister, Mansoor Mandavia sir. I would also like to thank Sarah McMullen. She is always our big brother, US FDA, you know, they are the world leader in FDA. And even their budget is also bigger than the Indian budget. So I think there are a lot of technology and techniques. Many times they visit us, we have collaboration. And rightly she mentioned that we have collaboration since 2008. Bruce Ross was the first country director of India office. And since then, they are guiding us, and we exchange the idea for training of our officers, knowledge sharing, information sharing, capacity building. And a part of it, sir, we have a handheld devices, and within no time, we can detect spurious drug instantly on the spot. We have a small devices carrying our bag in the inspector. We have inbuilt 4,000 plus molecules library, and without breaking the container, we can detect what is inside, and we safeguard the public health by ensuring that they get the right medicine. And again, this COVID time, to make the accessible medicine, we have a lot of pharma manufacturers, we have a lot of capacity and capability. Again, sir, I would like to share small government support to the industry. Sir, in our food and drug laboratory, we have a rapid microwave testing system. And thanks to my government and my bureaucrats who have supported me, and with the cost of the 4.5 crore rupees 5 years back, we have procured that system. And we are the only government sector lab in the country to have such kind of high-tech rapid microwave testing kit. And during this COVID pandemic time, there was a lot of hue and cry for the remdesivir injection. And the production cycle of the remdesivir is itself 21 days. If I start my production today, if I start my batch today, but product will come in the market after 21 days. But thanks to our visionary government and the leadership that they have supported FDCA, we have a state-of-the-art rapid microwave testing kit, and where in the conventional method, it takes 14 days to clear that product and move in the market. Here in this system, within 3 hours, we can do a lot of multiple batch testing, and in the same day, we have released a lot of batches in this critical time, and we have supported all Indian multinational, Mylan, Zydus, Hitro, Cipla, almost 162 batches we have tested, and we make sure that the citizens get the timely medicine when it was in a burning need of the people. So thanks to government and the technology sharing by the USFDA to us. I would also like to thank elite audience, the galaxy of the pharma and medical device industry who are sitting in the audience, our distinguished speaker and the panelists who are going to discuss in length about the different schemes of PLI, how to reduce import burdens, and how we can popularize generic Zenocidi stores. So we have a 3 parallel technical session going on. I would also like to thank media for covering the event. I thanks PDU for providing the infrastructure. I thanks my FDCA team, GMSL team, and all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm, thankful words. We appreciate it. ફરી એકવાર મંચસ્થ બિરાજમાન સર્વ મહાનુભાવોનો અમે ધન્યવાદ વ્યક્ત કરીએ છીએ. Thank you for gracing this wonderful event. It was a pleasure to have you all over here on this august occasion and the most important sector, that is the health sector, pharma sector. Thank you. Thank you once again. We thank Honorable Chief Minister, sir. Chief Minister, sir. Honorable Minister, sir. And all the esteemed dignitaries on the dais.